Hello there. Welcome to my office. Take a seat, take a seat. My name is Jeremy Kobert, as some of you may know, but there's a lot you don't know about Jeremy Kobert, and I'm here to tell you. You see, I'm sick of being a humble bumble. I'm sick of towing the company line. I'm here to set the record straight of who I am. You see, you're looking at a 5-time All-American collegiate baseball player. 5 times. That means I was All-American twice in 1 year. Yeah. After that, I went on to play professionally in Japan, Germany, all over the globe. But due to injury, I was forced to retire. So what did I do? I went out and conquered the business world. I became one of the top stockbrokers in America within 2 years' time. 2 years. Millions of dollars later, I look at the world and I say, what else is there that I can do? So I get into the wrestling business and I go and I train at one of the best schools in America, right here in Pittsburgh. And then I hit the road. I hit the road with the best unsigned talent in the world. And I learn. I learn the ins and outs of wrestling. I've been in freaking death matches, for Christ's sakes. But no more. No more of that. I'm here in this business to make money. Just like the other businesses I've been in. I've succeeded and I've accomplished everything I've wanted to. So from this day forth, I'm here to make money and I'm here to wrestle. Don't look at me like a male model. Yeah, I might be a little chubby, but I'll tell you what, I can wrestle your boots off. And from this day forth, you will know me as the epitome of accomplishment. Jeremy Kobert. What has happened to Jace Carr over the past year? That's the question. Why the fall from grace? He was in this town, he was wrestling this guy, he was doing this, that. He was becoming a decent name on the independent circuit. What happened? Well, there's been rumors. He said, she said, whatever it may be. But I'm here to clear the air. I'm here to tell the truth. The truth. It's something you don't hear very often in pro wrestling, but people like their shoot interviews, their realism, whatever it may be. But the truth is my name's Jeremy Kobert, and I'm an alcoholic. The truth is over the past year, I've seen things, done things that I can't even begin to describe. A lot of people like to talk about these things in their promotional videos, but it's nothing to be proud of. And it's a part of me now. But the truth is, I'm moving forward. I'm working on myself. I'm getting better. I'm becoming a better person. And the truth is that pro wrestling has saved my life. Pro wrestling, that ring, has kept me away from bars, kept me away from jail cells, kept me away from hell. It might sound dramatic, might sound fake, phony, whatever. But that ring means more to me than I can ever describe. And to pay that ring back, to pay wrestling back, over this next year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever run I have left, I'm going to give you guys my very best. I'm going to leave it all out there in the ring. Some people say it might be dangerous. Some people say it might be crazy, wild. But I'm going to give everything I have to you guys. If you see Jeremy Kobert on that wrestling card, come to the show. Because you're going to see a show like you've never seen before. You're going to see craziness. It's going to be wild. It's going to be fun. And I'm doing this to repay the fans that have stuck by my side, the wrestlers, the promoters, and even the ones that haven't. It's my fault, and I'm sorry. And I'm going to do everything in that ring to make it up to each and every one of you. I love you.
You're listening to WrestleRoni. It's Spooky Lou Carbonbarger, joined by the always lovely Lawrence. And today we are truly
Yo,
blessed. We are with the epitome of accomplishment, Jeremy Kobert. How you doing, my man?
Yes, sir. It's good to be here. Good to talk to you guys finally.
Glad to have you on. This is an exciting one. You definitely
yo.
caught our eye recently at an RSW show, and we'll get into that. Looks like you're making waves everywhere you go. Was watching some of your promos, bragging about yourself. How we feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I finally am coming out of my shell. I was on the I've been at it pretty good trying to figure out how wrestling works the past couple years. I trained for a year and then kind of hit the road and just started learning as much as I can and I'm finally coming in my own, I think. Kind of breaking out of the normal stuff I was doing and starting to make a name for myself, I think.
For sure. I couldn't agree more. You're definitely, like I say, you're definitely on the come up if anybody is. You've caught our eye. We had to have you on. I appreciate you coming on. So we'll go ahead and take it way back. Where does this all begin? Where does the love for wrestling start?
Well, I mean that's a good question. So I've kind of had a thing for wrestling since I was a kid. I can remember when I must have been like 7 or 8 years old.
Mm,
My grandmother was actually a really big wrestling fan,
hell
and
yeah.
she used to watch it. She's deceased now, rest her soul. But she used to watch it, and the first match I ever saw was it must have been a rerun or something, but it was Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels or no, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold. My bad.
Okay.
Bret Hart versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania when Bret Hart turned heel and Stone Cold turned face at the
Okay.
end there with all the blood and everything. And that's
Uh huh.
like, it's still ingrained in my memory. That's just something that I resonate with. And from there on, I just became obsessed with it, just like any other wrestling fan.
That's one that'll grab your attention. That's definitely a classic. I don't know how many times I've watched that bloodbath in Chicago, WrestleMania 13. Ken Shamrock as the ref just adds that much more spice to it. That was okay. I can see why you would fall in love at that point because
Yeah.
you see there, it's like no other sport or entertainment in the world.
Yeah, and I've kind of fell in love with like the story of it all and like the soap opera part of it. Like, and people get away from that these days, and myself included, because I get kind of obsessed with the sport when I started wrestling, and just because it's such a art form that I try to master it, and you get caught up with that, but in the meantime, like the only thing that really matters is the story behind the match and the logic and everything. That's why I've been watching like old school wrestling now, and it's everything's just starting to make sense. Things are starting to click with me.
Heck yeah,
Oh
good.
yeah.
I like it. I like it. So, where did you go to train? Who kind of took you under their wing? How did things come about?
So I was actually I've never been to an indie show or anything.
Mm.
Um, and I heard of IWC, obviously, big promotion in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I met the owner at the I can't even remember. It must have been at a show or something because I finally did go to a show and it just seemed cool and I was like, wow, you can actually do this. And so the long story of it is basically I was an alcoholic, as I've said pretty publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just got out of rehab and I was starting clean, and like I used to have a really good job where I was making all this money, but I wanted to give that up and just try something new because like the money wasn't making me happy. So, I said fuck it and I just started becoming a pro wrestler and I tried out for them. They said yes. From there on, Chris LaRusso was my trainer.
Hell yeah.
Probably one of the best trainers on the East Coast, if not the country.
Mm-hmm.
He's trained tons of guys that are on TV right now. Can't say enough good things about that dude. But yeah, I trained for a year. And then after that, I mean, it was pretty much, I made friends with Cole Karter, who is now in AEW. He was in WWE. He became my roommate, and we kind of just hit it off from the get-go. We were like brothers when we were in the same training class, and we still are like brothers. And Facade, who everybody probably knows, took me and Cole under his wing and pretty much just took us out on the road right after we got done training. I'd say it was about 6 months of doing like random spot shows here and there in Pittsburgh, and then we just hit the road running. And I've been fortunate enough to be under Facade's wing and travel the country the past couple of years, like everywhere. I've been all over the place, so it's been really fun.
Hell yeah, go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Yeah, and that guy, I mean, he's become probably my best friend. Him and Danny Moe, those guys are, again, like family. It's a family I've never really had. I played sports my whole life. Played baseball my entire life. And you know, you had your teammates and everything. It was great, but like these guys, I've been on the road. I've traveled thousands and thousands of miles with them, and they've just become a part of who I am. Cole, Danny, and Facade. So those are my guys.
That's awesome. And I mean, you got a taste of the good life with baseball. You traveled the world playing baseball as well, right?
Right. Yeah, it was fun. I played in college, and that was great. You know, I then was fortunate enough to go to Japan. I went to Germany. Actually got kicked out of the Japanese league for swearing, which is not legal. Like they're very proper about baseball over there. So
Oh wow.
it's kind of a funny story, but yeah, it all got cut short. You know, I was never really going to make it anywhere. I knew that, but it was a good way to travel and see the world for a little bit right out of college.
I gotta know. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I was pissed off. I get like I'm a pitcher, so like
Okay.
whenever I was pitching, I got pretty intense, and like I said like "fuck you" to the batter or something.
Oh, shit.
And after I struck him out, I said "fuck you, sit down." I think were the exact words. And the umpire did not like that, and he said "no swearing in here." And
Oh, shit.
and I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And they threw me out of the game. Next thing you know, I'm on a plane back home.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Well,
But
I got to say, as someone who has Japanese American half brothers and sisters, sir, I'm highly offended. No, I'm just fucking playing.
No, I absolutely love Japan. I would go back there in a heartbeat. I would live at that place. That was probably my favorite place in the world.
Hell yeah. They wouldn't put up with your mouth, huh?
Nah, but I would love to go back there and wrestle. That's like my goal through all this thing is to get over to Japan. I know I'm not necessarily WWE's type. I might get, you know, there are some things in the works with AEW, not gonna lie.
Oh.
But I doubt that I get signed or anything like that, but there are things happening, so be aware of that.
Okay, look at you go. Hell yeah, man. Awesome. Good for you. Good for you. That's awesome because who doesn't love AEW? Maybe the WWE fanboys don't. I watch it all, so I'm happy for you there. Yeah, good. Cool. Was you watching Japanese wrestling then when you was over there playing baseball, or was you aware of the Japanese scene?
I wasn't, man. Honestly, I was focused on baseball, and the girls over there are obsessed with Americans, so that's kind of what I was doing. I wasn't really worried about wrestling while I was over there.
Hell yeah. Good. Good. Okay. And also, you had a fairly successful business career as well, so you're a smart dude.
Yeah, I mean, baseball again. I loved baseball, but I always came back to wrestling. And then I got in the business field, and like I was a broker, and it was great. A lot of partying with that, a lot of travel again. It got to the point at what I owned my own stock brokerage, and it was reminiscent of Wolf of Wall Street. So it got a little scary there for a second, but we got
Mhm.
through it, and it was fun. It was definitely an experience, and
Sounds like,
definitely successful in some words.
sounds like you've done some living, if anybody has. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I was just talking to somebody about like I've lived 3 different lives in the past freaking 15 years of my life. Baseball player, businessman, now pro wrestler, and it's pretty cool for
Good.
sure.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you guys. I was gonna say I heard that there's a Japanese film production crew that they're gonna be making a documentary about your wife. It's called Yankee Go Home.
Jesus. And how
Yeah.
old are you at this point that when you're talking to us?
I am 27 years old.
Oh
All
man.
So I started a little late, but I actually tried out when I was 8. I think I was 19 years old. I was with IWC,
Mhm.
and I tried to be a part of their training class, but I had baseball going on too, so like I couldn't do both. There was no chance. It hurt way too much to wrestle. So
I gotcha. Wow. Well, hell yeah, man. 27. Me and Rich we're getting jealous because Rich in his damn 50s. I'm about to hit 40, and here
right.
you are just roaming around, man. So obviously, you put your mind to something. Right here is living proof. You can do what you want. Coming to an AE Dark or Elevation soon. I just have a feeling on that.
yeah, it's definitely possible. I have lived a good life so far, and I'm very proud of it. But it hasn't come without its shortcomings and definitely bad times. I mean, alcoholism is no joke, so it fucked me up for a long, long time.
Now, can
Okay.
I jump in on that real quick, Spook?
Yeah, I bet it.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know, brother, that that really resonates with me as someone that I had a period of my life as well that I kind of had to battle my own alcoholic demons and
Mm-hmm.
realized that I had negative influences around me and I needed to kick those motherfuckers to the curb so I could get on with my own life. And I got sober, and you know what? I came out better on the other end from it. And I'm so proud to hear that you had a struggle like that. And look at you now, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need that shit. So I'm so glad that you were able to get through those demons, man, and get your life right. And, you know, you're on the right path.
I appreciate that, man, and congratulations on your sobriety.
Thank you.
It's crazy. Alcoholism is like the one disease you can have where you might come out on the other end as a better person, and that's what
Yep.
I've been trying to do, and that's just it sucks, but it's also like I'm becoming a better version of me, so I'm happy with it.
Hell
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
bro. I'm proud of you.
Hell yeah. Well, for my listeners, a lot of folks have struggles. How did you beat it? Like, what was the dark times when did you decide I gotta beat this, do something else? How does one do
Yeah.
that?
I mean, honestly, like when I owned my own brokerage, it got really rough. Obviously, I was working from home and stuff, and the stress levels were so high. I was drinking all day,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I didn't even notice it, because I was always a partier, but I never had any real issues with the law or anything like that
Mhm.
until I did, and then things happened, and it got pretty rough there, and like relapses also happened. So this
Mhm.
past year hasn't been so great, but I'm on the up and up. I'm actually 4 months clean
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Good job, man.
as of now. I had about 3 years before this relapse, so I know how to do it. I'm just getting back into it. It unfortunately that can be a part of recovery, and it's important for people to know that watch this show or listen to the show and watch wrestling and watch what I do, that like relapse can happen and you can still get through shit. Like I'm still pushing forward. I'm becoming better. And like this next version of Jeremy Kobert is going to be the best version.
Hell yeah, man.
No doubt in my mind. That's awesome. Good for you. And exactly, man. Hey, like Lawrence said, we all know. I mean, I've struggled. My family, I've saw struggle, and relapse. Like you say, relapses happen. You just got to find something to shoot for, whether it's being a better person, being better for your kids, your wife, your family, whatever. And I mean, look, the proof's right here on the show. We're damn proud of you. We barely know you, but you're an inspiration.
Oh yeah,
Well, I
man.
appreciate that, man. I appreciate both of you.
For sure.
Well, thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's take it back to happier times. How does one meet Facade? And he said you took you under his wing. You guys went on the road. If you can, tell me all you can about that, 'cause big Facade fan, Danny Moe, Neon Blondes all day. How's that work?
Well, Facade used to come train at Facade and Danny used to come train at IWC. Obviously, that's their home.
Mm.
And we basically met during training. I was very eager to learn from him because, like, he's just the way he does business and the way he works is on another level. He should be on TV regularly. It's a goddamn shame he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And you know he will be. So, same with Danny. They're both incredible. But what eventually happened, he saw how badly I wanted this. He saw how badly Cole wanted it too. And we were both the young green guys, and he kind of like slowly but surely started helping us train and showing us things here and there, and it kind of just led into, hey, you want to go on a trip to North Carolina with us? And you know, I jumped all over it. I was there with him every time he asked, and I think that's, you know, he saw the dedication, I think, and he kind of just, we became friends in the car, you know. And we all just get along really well. And yeah, I mean I'm going next weekend to PPW in Poconos with him and Danny, and we go every month. So
Nice.
that's another one. So that'll be good.
They're kicking ass down in PPW. I order the PPW pay-per-views just for Facade and Danny Moe. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
that's their town right there.
good. I couldn't be happier for him, for real. What was it like to see Cole Karter blow up so fast?
It was interesting because I saw the whole thing. I mean, we lived together for the entire comeuppance, and it was cool. He's always a humble guy, at least with me. He's a humble guy everywhere. Like, he's not show offy. He's gets his job done, and like, if there's anybody that deserved it, it's him, because he could have just gone around, and because he looks like $1,000,000, he could have just gone around and worked one show a month, and he probably still would have got signed. But he came with me on the road, and he learned, and he became a really good wrestler, and he's just getting better, and he's just getting started, by the way. Like, he's got a freakish career ahead of him, and as long as he keeps things straight, he'll be good.
Yeah, again, talk about an inspiration, man. Just boom, that guy was everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves it. There are some guys out there that I've seen that just get by on their looks, or like how big they are, or their muscles, or whatever. But like, he learned how to wrestle, and he did it the right way. So I'm proud of him for that.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. Rich, you got any questions at the moment? Because I just keep firing them away.
Yeah, I got a question for him.
Okay.
Okay. So my question is, during the time of like WCW Nitro, right, and Monday Night Raw, and the battle between the two companies, if you had an opportunity to have a contract with either one of them during that period in wrestling, who would you choose, and what would lead you to that decision?
Ooh, that's tough. The obvious answer is WWE, but like, if I look back at it, like, there was some cool stuff going on in WCW, but it was always WWF for me. I was a big DX guy. That pretty much corrupted my whole childhood, and
Okay.
as in so many other people. But yeah, like, WWE was always on Monday nights, and then commercials would throw on WCW. But I was such a fan at that point that, like, WCW there was a point where it was cooler than WWF, but you know. It was both. That was an amazing time in wrestling, just like it is now.
Yep. I say it every episode. I preach it.
Mhm.
There's never been a better time to be a pro wrestling fan. The indies are on fire. We've got healthy competition on TV. You can watch Japanese wrestling live, which was unheard of back in my day. It's a damn good time to be a pro wrestling fan. Well, I'm going to circle
Yeah.
it back to RSW recently because that was
Mhm.
my introduction to you. And me and Rich call him Lawrence. Me and Rich Lawrence call him the Fire Ass Four Ways.
Always. Yep.
And you were in hostile territory that night. Let's be fair.
Mhm.
Half that
Mhm.
crowd was there for the murder. I watch you make your
Mhm.
entrance. You come out, and it looks like you're going for some cheers, and you can just see you read that crowd, and then you're like, okay, well, fuck you too then. So what was that like for you?
It's definitely not the first time that's happened to me. Usually I do work as my like who I am, which is an asshole.
Okay.
But that time I was trying to, get some fans, sell some merch, and it just didn't work out. So I decided to be myself and become an asshole again. That's just in my nature to do that. So it actually helped out a lot. But we still had a great match. I'm very proud of that match. And
Oh yeah.
that was a lot of fun, actually.
For sure. That was an amazing match. All four of you guys killed it. I was the prick booing the loudest. I apologize.
Good. As long as the fans are into it, that's all I care about.
I'm very
Well, a
biased.
secondary question I have for that is, when are we going to see an RSW again, brother?
Well, that's a very good question. We are actually doing a show December 16th. I think this is the first a lot of people are going to be hearing about this, actually. It's for charity. It's in Pittsburgh at the T2T Training Academy, MV Young's place. He's going to be on the card. I'm going to be on the card. There's going to be some surprises. It's actually my birthday on that day.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Yeah, and I have a lot of connections in Pittsburgh, so me and the RSW are working very close to put on a really good show. And it's sponsored by Mancini's Bakery, biggest bakery in Pittsburgh, and they're really helping us out a lot. It's for Toys for Tots, all charity. So that's going to be a fun show.
Man.
Can't wait. Yep. I'll be lucky enough to be there. Can't wait. New Ken is wild. MV's really set up a nice scene there. I really dig what's going on. If it's not RSW there, it's MV running a show there, or this fed that. It seems like something's always going on there. That's a hotbed for pro wrestling right now.
Yeah, it is, and that show is going to really. I'm expecting big things from that show. I got a lot of people that are looking to come. We're going to do some big advertising for it, and it's all for charity, so that's cool. And maybe me and MV will have a match. Who knows?
Ooh.
We'll have to wait.
Well, I'm going to have to dress up real warm, so hang on, guys. I'm going to put on a ski coat and fucking sleep pants underneath my jeans, and I'm going to start walking. I'll see you guys December 16th.
It'll be
I am
worth
carless, so I will not be able to go, sir. I'm sorry I'm going to miss it, but I'll see what I can do to get some highlights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be filming it and putting it on somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
I'll make sure that happens. Last show, there was a problem with the camera. I said, I'll stand there with my phone. And by God, we got the whole show on my phone that I gotta say, not to toot my own horn, but toot. It looks pretty good.
That's good shit.
Yeah, man. The last show up there was a blast. That was RSW's PA debut. They blew it out of the water. MV against Remy, awesome match. Every match was just incredible. The four-way, we'd go on all day about that show, but it was incredible. So can't wait to get back up there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big show. I'm pretty excited for it. Remy will be back as well, so we're gonna have some good faces there.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What else do we got to look forward to from you coming soon?
Well, I got a pretty busy schedule actually this month. Tomorrow I'm going up to Cleveland for EFW. That's kind of a surprise, I guess. I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's up in Cleveland. Great promotion there. Saturday, I'm going straight to, where the hell am I going? Oh, down in Bluefield, West Virginia, for Premier Wrestling. And I'm facing Aaron West, who I've been in the ring with before, and I beat his ass. So I'm sure this will be no different.
Nice.
Then what do we got? Then next week, PPW.
Nice.
That's always a big show up there in Poconos. If people don't know, you could get that on Fight TV. We put out amazing shows at PPW. There's always big names on the card, so definitely tune into that.
Oh yeah.
And then the week following is that RSW show, 16th at MV's place. And then there are some things that I cannot discuss for the 17th, but I might see you guys in Florida.
Okay. I'll do some talking with Rich once we go off air. I see where you're going with that, and I was trying to think what days the 17th fall on, but I got you. Good.
Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah. Good for you, man.
Florida, we'll be freezing our asses off here in West Virginia. I'm so jealous.
I think the last thing he's going to be worried about is the weather. I'd say if it was 90 below, I bet you that he would be in Florida on the 17th.
Oh
And don't worry about ruining any surprises for tomorrow, because this show probably won't drop for a couple days, so they can look back and say, "Yep, he called it." Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
man, the future's looking bright. Well, as far as a personal favorite, what's been your personal favorite match you've had? Your favorite opponent?
Oh, oof.
Or three, or
That's
four, or
tough.
five?
I would say me and Facade and Cole used to have some three-ways that we actually traveled from North Carolina down to Florida over to Tennessee, and we would have this three-way match, and it became a pretty big rivalry between us three. So I'd have to give it a split between those two, because we did have some bangers out there.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun. But my favorite match altogether was me versus Facade down in Charleston, South Carolina. Show was on the beach at what the hell's his name? The singer for Wagon Wheel. What's his name?
I don't know.
Jeff Smith. I don't know.
I don't know. It was his bar, but the ring was on the beach. It was very cool. And that was my favorite match.
Hell yeah. Okay. And those three ways, are there those on Fight or YouTube? Any way to watch those?
Honestly, I have no idea. I'm sure they're on Fight. At least a couple of them.
Gotcha.
They're one of them was at Ring Wars, so I know they have their own like network. I don't know where you can find them. They might be on YouTube.
I got you.
But there's quite a few of them. So.
All right. Okay. So chances are, if there's quite a few of them, we can find one of them. We can dig them up, by God.
Yeah, they're somewhere out there on the web.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, looks like 2022's packed for you. What are we looking to do in 2023? What's the end goal there?
2023. I mean, I'm just gonna give it I've been riddled with a few injuries that are really, it's really starting to hurt. I broke my neck.
Oh wow.
Oh my God.
About a year and a half ago, and my neck is in a lot of pain. I just recovered from a break in my arm. I torn everything on my knee, so I'm beat up. But I'm looking to become more of a pro wrestler. I was doing death matches. I was doing flips off 20-foot ladders. I was doing crazy stuff. So like, this is the year where I become Jeremy Kobert, the epitome of accomplishment, and start out wrestling everybody I see.
There you go. Okay. Okay.
I like that answer.
You breaking your neck, did that happen in a match?
Yeah, it was in WrestleMania weekend, actually, down in Florida, Tampa, Florida, whenever they were down there.
Okay.
And some dumbass 300-pound dude decided to do a suicide dive on me, and I ended up cracking my neck
Oh
Oh,
wow.
God.
Wow,
Yeah, it
I'm
was rough.
sorry.
It sounds a lot worse than it actually is. Breaking your neck. People like to like use that as a tough guy thing to say, but like my arm was paralyzed for like a week,
Mm.
and that was pretty much it. Like after like a month, I was pretty much ready to go, but it still does bother me sometimes. Like right now, it's
Mm.
kind of killing me. So I just got to be careful, and stop doing that
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
shit.
And you mentioned you'd done some death matches. I mean, obviously, I understand being a young, hungry talent. I don't understand, but I get it. I'll say, you're doing what you can do to get a name for yourself, get some attention. Who was you working in these death matches? What was going on there?
I worked at the Prince of Deathmatch tournament in Indiana.
Okay.
Uh, I did really well there. I've worked a few. It's mostly been in Indiana. I was a big part of IWA Mid South, whether you like them or you hate them.
Okay.
I that was one of my home bases. They treated me really well there. Aaron Rotten or Ian Rotten, sorry Ian. You could say what you want about him. He's done a lot of crazy shit. He's a crazy motherfucker, but he treated me very well with respect. And you know, I the guy liked me for some reason and kind of took a liking. So me and Cole actually used to wrestle there a lot.
Huh.
And eventually I went over to OVW. But I mean I had a great time at Mid South. I know a lot of people didn't, but it was a great learning experience
I
for
got
me.
you. And you said Ian took a liking to you. I mean, there's two sides to every story. We hear all kinds of crazy stories about Ian Rotten. As long as he's been around, there's got to be some crazy stories. There'd be crazy stories about anybody that's been around in the business that long, So, and
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy is full on crazy, but he does know a thing or two.
for sure, yeah, the proof's in the pudding, man. Like he's promoted, he's wrestled, he's done it all for years. So he's not getting any disrespect from me. He's never done me wrong, so I ain't saying shit. I don't want no beef with Ian Rotten. I promise you that. Hell no. You dipped
Yeah,
into
it's
OVW for a while too, huh?
Yep, we I was in there for a good amount of time. I had a great experience there. Facade was also there, and Danny.
Mm-hmm.
We all three went over there. Facade stayed a little bit longer than I did. Um, it was cool to be there. I was more of a Mid South guy, and I think that OVW kind of knew that because they're right next to each other, literally 15 minutes away from each other, and they run the exact same night.
Oh.
So whenever I went to OVW, it was like, who's this Mid South guy? Why the fuck is he here? So it wasn't the best for me. I'm proud to call Mid South one of my places, and OVW is fun though. I mean, it's cool to wrestle in the Davis Arena where John Cena, Batista, all those guys, that's where they train. So
Lesnar, Shelton, everybody. We could go on for days. I never knew
yeah,
it was like that between OVW and Mid South. I get it because they're
yeah,
definitely two different companies.
two different companies, two different mindsets on wrestling, obviously,
hmm
and that's okay. I don't think there was a huge beef. They had wrestlers going back and forth all the time. It wasn't necessarily like that, but there were some guys in OVW who looked down upon it, and likewise in Mid South that looked down on OVW. It was just one of those things when you're 15 minutes away running the same night, and you're two pretty big promotions. It's going to
hmm
be tough.
Yeah, OVW, they're not perfect either. I've heard some backstage stories, and yeah, come on now. But
Yeah,
switching it
exactly.
back to the positive, you mentioned OVW, and it's crazy because I just had a very positive interaction with Al Snow this week, which made my complete week. I couldn't believe that. Always been a fan of his. Did you bump into Al Snow?
Yeah, Al was there every show. He's a great guy. I can't, that guy knows more about wrestling than anybody I've ever met. He helps me a lot just with like they treated OVW as it was a mini WWE still to this day.
hmm
Um, you were on time. You put your gear on 6 hours before the goddamn match. you had to stick to your times on TV because it was on TV as well.
Yeah, still
And
is.
they treated it as a TV taping. So that was cool. Very cool to experience that and kind of figure out where cameras are and stuff like that. So Al taught me a lot as far as that goes. But he's a great guy. Yeah.
For sure.
I gotta ask, was Al the guy that came into the ring with the head?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I remember. I
Yeah.
thought so. I have a question for our esteemed guest.
Okay.
Okay, so one thing you'll notice if you go back and listen to these podcasts that we've done, and that he's done when I've been absent, is that there's a lot of positivity, right? Like we love to breed positivity and just love your fellow neighbor and the camaraderie and stuff that people have, and just kind of fostering that. So my
Right.
question for you is that you'll notice in the podcast that pretty much every wrestler that we've talked to have always had the same idea, the same ideology. I go into this Fed, they treat me really good, I get along with the backstage, and it all feels like a family atmosphere, and that's great, and we love to breed positivity. But I'm just curious, without naming a name of any Fed or specific wrestlers, as many different Feds as you've wrestled, bro, I've heard so many damn abbreviations tonight, my head is spinning. Like, you've been everywhere, bro. Like, has there ever been one that you're like, fuck that place, I'm not going back? For one reason or another, you didn't feel welcome, they didn't welcome you, or whatever the case was.
To be honest, no. Like I've gotten that's tough. I've gotten along with pretty much everybody, and I
Okay.
take it for what it is. Like some of these promotions aren't gonna be great. Like it's indie wrestling, and that's part of this. That's part of part of indie wrestling that I love is like some you could be wrestling in front of 3 people in a barn. The next day you could be wrestling in front of 5,000 at some place in North Carolina. It really doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter if I'm in front of 3 people or 5,000. Like I'm actually more comfortable in front of the bigger crowd because it's less weird. But I've never butted heads with anybody, to be honest with you, as far as promotions go. IWC and I kind of had a falling out, but I take the blame for that. And they know that, and we kind of just went our separate ways. But I have no ill will towards IWC at all.
Okay, well, you've literally wrestled so many places. I feel like I'm relearning the fucking alphabet during this podcast.
Well,
like
there's a lot out there.
GCW. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I tell you, as somebody that likes to think they know plenty about wrestling, the Feds he's naming are prominent wrestling promotions. OVW used to be the feeder system for WWE and Impact.
Okay.
PPW runs monthly pay-per-views on Fight. IWA Mid-South, Chris Hero, CM Punk. Man, the roots that go back to that, and just so you've been very fortunate. I'm sure you know that, but wow.
Yeah, I have, and it's been a great experience, and just the people around me have just helped me so much. I can't say that I did this all. I look back at it and I'm so fucking competitive that I always want more and I'm never satisfied. But now that I'm talking about it with you guys and looking back, it was pretty cool. And it wasn't all my doing. I had a lot of good people around me.
Oh yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point you bring up, because I tell guys on the show all the time, because I'm a bit older than some of you gentlemen. Not that I'm wiser, but I'm older. And breathe it in, man. Live the moment. Don't look, you got to look forward. You got to want more. But at the same time, when you're in that locker room with Al Snow, just say, man, I'm in here with Al Snow, or whatever the situation may be, even traveling with Facade, or whatever it may be. Those guys are legends. Breathe it in and enjoy it. Just know that you're living your dream, you're doing it, and that's what it's about. I understand pro wrestling. I can't take the bumps, but I understand the love if anybody does. So, man, just breathe that shit in and live it.
Yeah, I gotta definitely gotta learn how to do that because like I said, I'm so competitive that like I can't. It's always on to the next thing. Like I'm already looking at next week, and I haven't even wrestled tomorrow, where there's gonna be some huge names that like I just need to take it in and like appreciate it.
For
That
sure.
tomorrow's you know tomorrow could be the best show of my life.
It's this drive that you have that's going to get you places, man, for sure. Like I can hear it in your voice that you have this drive and this willingness to compete. That yeah, you're going to do big things, brother. And I'm looking
But
forward to watching them.
well, I appreciate that, and I hope so. You just
And,
gotta keep going.
and not just the drive, the obstacles you've overcome, man. Like,
Oh
it's
yeah,
no
no shit.
joke to do, overcome what you've overcome, to be where you've been, to be flown home from Japan, and everything in between. Lesson learned, lesson learned. Let's move on. And here you are. You gotta be happy where you're at right now. I understand wanting more, but if I was you, I'd be damn proud.
Well, yeah,
Oh
I appreciate that greatly.
For
Thank you
sure.
very much.
For
yeah. And be
sure.
looking for that documentary, Yankee Go Home. I hear they're going to be releasing that in February 2023.
Hell, even
Yeah,
if
that'll
I
be
release it. Oh
yes,
shit.
sir.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Like I say, I love having inspiring people, and shit, the proof's in the pudding. We'll quit kissing your ass and think of a random question here for you, but yeah, we are happy for you, man. It's good to hear that good people are succeeding. So that's awesome.
Yep.
Like,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
for sure. I thank you for coming on, because this is a treat to my listeners. This isn't, something you hear every day. What's some of the crazy stuff you saw over in Japan while you was playing baseball? It's a little bit different than our culture.
I mean, like I was. If you go to Tokyo, it's very similar to like New York City, very Americanized. I was in Osaka and Kyoto, which is old school Japan, and that was just super cool. Um, it's so clean there. Everybody's drunk. Um, everybody smokes cigarettes. It's like it's crazy, and they're obsessed with karaoke for some reason.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just a party over there, and everybody's very respectful too. Respect for your elders is like a huge thing, and that it's almost the opposite in America, which I hate. But whatever. Um, it's a very cool place, very kind people. Just it's different for sure.
okay. I like it. I get it. And yeah, I'm a big fan of their culture. I can go on about Japan all day. I was curious about that. Let's say the day comes. Me and my crazy talk over here, but let's say the day comes you wind up on All Elite Wrestling. Who would be the
Mm.
dream opponent to work in AEW? Or a few dream opponents. Who would you like to work there if the day ever came? I mean, that's crazy, but go ahead.
I mean, like I hate to say it, but if me and Cole had a match, that's kind of that would be incredible. Just like from what we've been through, where we started to have a match on AEW be that would make my life, and I'm sure it would make his too. We've been through so much bullshit of traveling the road up and down, training, being looked at as like pussies when we first started. That like it would just be really cool. That Cole would be a great match. Obviously, if Punk is ever still going to be there. He's a huge influence on me. His straight edge lifestyle is inspiring.
Mm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
just the way he works is, the guy's awesome. I don't know him personally. I'm sure he's kind of a dick. That's what but who isn't? Who isn't?
Right.
And then, just guys like that. Dean Ambrose, I've met him before at GCW events. The guy's huge, first of all. Way too. But that would be an awesome match. He's been a big influence on me as well. So I don't know. I'm sure those are just crazy talk, like I said, but like it is cool to think about.
Yeah, I see you. I got you. Okay. All right. So you just casually throw out, oh, I saw him at GCW events. What? Tell me about the atmosphere at a GCW locker room. What's it like at Game Changer Wrestling?
That's kind of why I liked, like, they're not all deathmatch guys or anything,
Right.
but like those kinds of people in wrestling, they're so down to earth, just so nice. They don't have egos like a lot. Like there's just a lot of egos in pro wrestling. These guys are just like, you can talk to them. They're all smoking weed. Everybody's cool.
Mhm.
So it's, I don't smoke weed or obviously do any of that, but like somehow I
do.
get along with those people a lot better.
Right.
Just a lot more laid back. And yeah, GCW is a very cool place to be at. Me and Facade and Danny, what was this? This was a year and a half ago or so. They had a 24-hour show, and
Yeah.
we were there for that. And
Okay.
that was intense. 24 hours of wrestling was a bit much.
I tried to watch the whole stream and I kept dozing off. Oh, anything you can tell me about that, because I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. God bless those guys. Rich probably doesn't know they did this stream to raise money for the wrestlers because it was during COVID, and it was just 24 hours straight of wrestling. And but there's videos of me trying to stay awake watching this. So, what was that like? You got to tell anything you can tell me about that. I'm all ears.
Oh, it was great, man. It was in some dingy little like old bar in Philadelphia.
Mm.
But they made the best of it, and it was just, they somehow kept it entertaining. They somehow kept the times, like, it was insane. It was just a gigantic mess at times. I was so deprived by the end of it. I didn't know what was going on, but it was cool. They had food. They had, whatever the hell you wanted. It was just kind of, you're just hanging out and watching wrestling all day. But
Is that available to watch?
It might still be on Fight. I'm not sure. I've got some matches on
Okay.
my channel.
Okay.
I'm not sure if the stream
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Oh, it was crazy. They had a 2-hour Iron Man match with Tony Deppen and Jordan Oliver. For 2 hours, these guys went at it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was that. I remember that. I actually forgot about that. But yeah, that was a great match too. Jordan Oliver is a great talent, great kid as well. But he's gonna do big things. He's gotten in really good shape, and he's been over to Japan recently.
Mhm.
So definitely look out for that guy. He's gonna be a star.
Oh, yeah. I've been shouting his name from the mountaintops for a while because the dude's been doing it for so long, people don't realize he's still young. He's the one that got Nick Gage into shape for his comeback. Very not underutilized, underrated, because they're definitely using him to his full potential, and not just GCW, VXS. He's in a lot of places. I'm like you, Jordan Oliver. When his break comes, we're off to the races.
Yeah, I envision him being a AEW guy or something along those lines. Nick Wayne as well. He's a GCW guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's already signed to AEW, but he's not old enough yet. So
Yeah.
he's going to be a big star there, I'm sure.
Yeah, Lawrence, this guy is 16 years old, already signed to AEW. Just can't work there yet because he's not old enough.
16? That's crazy.
He's good.
Yeah, he's very good.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy what some of these kids can do, but everybody that I met at GCW is super nice people.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like you've been everywhere and back. Is there any promotions that you haven't worked that you'd like to work?
Yeah, there's tons of them. I mean, the bigger, like, there are some bigger ones, like Wrestle Revolver is a huge one that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like Pro Wrestling Gorilla.
Yep.
Is that what
PWG?
that would be?
Yep, you got it.
PWG. I don't even know if they're still running, but that would be amazing.
They are.
That's such a cool atmosphere. That's kind of what got me in indie wrestling, was watching that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just I just want to keep traveling and getting my name out there and start making some money doing this.
Well,
Oh yeah, man.
I think you're on the right track. I definitely think you're on the right track. Well, Lawrence, you have any final questions before I present my final question?
I do have a final question, and
Cool.
I just kind of I was thinking about this one for a while. It's going to be kind of a fucked up question. I'm not going to lie. Because, well, it's unique what I'm posing for you, because I hear this bond you have with your buddy. You said Cole, right?
Yeah,
And this
Cole
is, this is the guy that you guys are going through a whole bunch of shit together, really been supportive of each other. That's your roommate. Did I hear that right? For so long or whatever?
Yeah, he was my roommate since
Okay,
we started training to whenever he got signed by WWE. Yeah.
got you. AEW gives you a match, and that match would say it was against Cole. And in order to take the match, both of you have to agree that the winner of the or the loser of the match has to lose their career. Do you take the match? And if you, if you take, do you take the match and then also respond for Cole if he would take the match?
I think I do take the match, and I think I put Cole over because that
Oh.
guy, that kid's ceiling is so high. And I'm
Wow.
a realist. I know what I could do. I know where I potentially may go. But his ceiling is, he could be the top star in wrestling within 10 years. And that's no joke.
Wow.
The guy's got
Wow.
he's got the body, he's got the attitude. Once he just keeps learning in AEW, there are starting to push him a little bit. Like that guy could go to the moon.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's really
And so,
good. Look him up.
would Cole respond and say, "Yeah, of course I would end his career so I can advance my own career"?
You know what? I think he would because he's an asshole.
Okay. That was a very interesting answer. Okay, cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we get some answers on this show, by goodness. It's definitely been a pleasure. It's been an eye opener. But before we let you go, any advice, any stories, anything that you can give to my listeners as inspiration? Hey, I went through this. You can do this. Whatever it may be, or some life advice that maybe some of us may not know. What could you pass along to the folks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any advice or anything because I don't believe I'm in a position to give advice yet. I think I still have a lot of learning to do about myself, but I will say that no matter how hard it gets, I've been to the depths of hell with this addiction. Jail. I've been in bad places because of alcoholism. And no matter how bad it gets, just keep going because I have friends that have committed suicide. I've had people have died in my life because of this addiction because they kind of just gave up. My brother has passed away because of addiction, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry.
And that's what kind of sparked me thinking, you only got this one life to live, so why not use it? And made me become a pro wrestler. Don't give up, keep fighting the fight because shit does get better. Today, I'm in such a good place. I'm so happy. I get to wrestle tomorrow in Cleveland, and life's good right now, but it can always get worse. Gotta keep pushing.
Hell yeah. Wow. Another banger, Rich. Another grade A quality human that we can learn from. We're both old timers, but we learn every episode. And by God, we did today. We did today. This was a fun one. It's always, I don't know. It's crazy. This show's crazy. Life's crazy. I can attest to what you said. Go for your dreams. I say it at the end of every episode because it's wild. It's wild. Just mine and Rich's year. Rich Lawrence. We've had a crazy
Same
year.
difference.
Yeah.
Same person.
Same motherfucker. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. It was a blast.
For sure.
Oh yeah, dude.
We'll ask you to hang on here with us after we wrap the recording just so we can thank you and say our goodbyes and all. But to the listeners, man, fuck. You heard it here. Awesome episode. Don't give up. Live your dreams. Be kind to each other. A new one today, Rich. Respect your elders. I like that one.
I like that one. I'll tell you what, I don't know about you, Spooky, but when I get off here, I'm going to go back and listen to Chicago's You're the Inspiration or something, man, because it's been an inspiring podcast.
That's how we do. That's how we do.
Oh, we do it, baby.
That's how Jeremy Kobert does, by goodness.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait to watch you do your thing live in New Ken coming up on the 16th. I'm happy I will be there live and in person for that.
Well, we will see you there, sir.
Hell yeah. I'm Spooky Lou for Lawrence, our esteemed guest, the epitome of accomplishment. See, I remembered it. I got it.
Yeah.
The proof's in the pudding, man. Just live your dreams, do what you want, and go wrestle on national TV sometime if you want to, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Why not? Just do it. Just do it if that's
Respect your damn elders.
Respect your elders. You've been listening to WrestleRoni. Don't cuss on the pitcher's mound. And we love you.
Peace.